Good morning, students. So let's continue our chapter, that is double entry system of accounting. In our previous class, we had studied the rules for personal account, real account and nominal account. So today we'll be classifying the various accounts into the personal, real and nominal account and seeing the advantages of double entry system. Classify the following account into personal, real or nominal account. So they have given us various accounts. We need to classify whether it will be personal, real or nominal account. First one is capital. So capital is a personal account. Why is it a personal account? Because it is a proprietor's capital account. Next we have drawings. Drawings is also a personal account because again it is a proprietor's drawings. Next we have cash paid. Cash paid is always a real account. Cash received is also real account. Commission paid. Commission paid is an expense. All the expense and income is a nominal account. Next we have commission received. Again it is an income, so nominal account. Next we have purchases. So purchases is an expense to a firm. So it is a nominal account. Next we have sales. Sales is an income to the firm. So it is nominal account. Next we have furniture account. Furniture account is always a real account. Cash account, again real account. Next we have bank account. Bank account is always a personal account. Why personal? Because it will be the proprietor's bank account. Bank overdraft, that is also personal account. Next we have debtors account. Debtors is also a personal account. Who is a debtor? The person who owes money to the business is debtor. Next we have creditor, that is also personal account. When business owes money to the person, it is creditors. Traveling expenses, as it is an expense, it will be nominal account. Next we have goodwill. Goodwill is a intangible asset. So it is real account. Patents is also an intangible asset. So again it is a real account. Salary account is an expense. So it is nominal account. Next we have salary outstanding. As I have already explained you, any outstanding or prepaid or pre-received will be a personal account and not a nominal account. Next we have insurance. Insurance is again an expense, so nominal account. Insurance prepaid account, it is prepaid, so it will be personal account. Bad debts written off. What do we mean by bad debts? Say for example, Mr. X had to pay us 10,000 rupees. He paid us only 9,000. So what is 1,000? 1,000 is bad debts which will not be recovered by Mr. X. So bad debts written off. Written off means cancelled. So it is an expense. So again it is nominal account. Next it is bad debts recovered. Mr. X had to pay 1,000 rupees and he paid it, which means our bad debts has been recovered. So it is an income. So nominal account. Clear? Next, let's go on to the stages of double entry system. There are three stages in double entry system, that is original record, classification, summary. Under the original record, what do? We prepare journal. So all the transactions will be first recorded in the original book, which is known as journal, or they will be sub-journals or subsidiary books. So when a business has large number of transactions, it will be recording all the transactions in the journal or sub-journals. So this is the first stage of double entry system. Next we have classification. After the business has written all the transactions in the journal, they would be posting all the transactions one by one in an account which is known as ledger accounts. So what is ledger account? It is a book which will contain different pages. It will have individual accounts head, under which all the financial transactions of similar nature will be collected in one place. Say for example, you have done transaction with Mr. X 4 times. So all the 4 times you cannot be searching it in the journal. So you will be preparing a ledger account which will be known as Mr. X account. So all the 4 transactions will be written in our ledger accounts. Last one is the summary. In this stage, all the accounts of the ledger are balanced off and they are put up in the debit side or credit side in our trial balance. So under a trial balance, the total of debit side should always be equal to the total of credit side. If the total of debit and credit side is equal, which means that the arithmetical accuracy has been checked, and this trial balance will be helpful in preparing our trading and profit and loss account and a balance sheet. So what happens, say for example, you are preparing Mr. X ledger account, 100 rupees, 100, 200, 300. So what is the total of Mr. X? Which side is more? Our debit side is more. What is the balance? 300 is our balance. Which side balance is this? It is our credit side balance. So while we are preparing a trial balance, this 300 would be written on the credit side of trial balance. At the end of the trial balance, we will be totaling our debit side and credit side. If the total is equal, it means that the arithmetical accuracy of the accounts is proved. So these are the stages of double entry system. Next we have advantages of double entry system. First one is the scientific system. So under this system, the transactions are recorded according to certain rules, and as such the system is more scientific when compared to bookkeeping. तो इसमें हम क्या करते हैं, हम सारे रूल्स फॉलो किए हैं, पर्सनल अकाउंट के, रियल अकाउंट के, नॉमिनल अकाउंट के. सो इट बिकम्स मोर रिलायबल एंड मोर साइंटिफिक दैन बुककीपिंग. बुककीपिंग में हम क्या करते हैं, हम कोई रूल्स फॉलो नहीं करते हैं. सो डबल एंट्री सिस्टम इज अ साइंटिफिक सिस्टम. नेक्स्ट वी हैव कंप्लीट रिकॉर्ड ऑफ एवरी ट्रांजैक्शन. So in double entry system, all the accounts are divided into 3 parts, that is personal, real and nominal account, and both the debit and credit aspect of the transactions are recorded. So in case of a double entry system, we record both the debit and credit transaction, which means that the complete record of every transaction is done and full details are easily available in case of double entry system. Next we have preparation of trial balance. So as I've already explained, the debit side total must be equal to the credit side total, and if it is equal, our arithmetical accuracy is proved. So this double entry system helps in preparation of trial balance. Next we have preparation of trading and profit and loss account. So when we have prepared the trial balance, this trial balance will help a proprietor to prepare the trading and profit and loss account to find out the exact profit or loss suffered during him in the year. Next we have knowledge of financial position of the business. So at the end of the year, the proprietor will know whether he has earned a profit or a loss because he is able to prepare his balance sheet and the trading and profit and loss account. तो इससे क्या होता है, उसको पता चल जाता है कि उसकी financial position क्या है, what are his expenses, what is his income, next year how he can increase the profit. All this is possible in case of double entry system. Next we have knowledge of various information. So in case of double entry system, the accounts are maintained in such a way that we get knowledge of various information. Information like what is the sales in our business, what are the purchases, what is the closing stock, then what is the amount which is due by the customers or due from the customers. All this is possible in case of double entry system. Next we have lesser possibility of fraud because all the information is easily available in case of double entry system. जो frauds हैं, manipulation होंगे, वो बहुत कम होंगे because all the information has already been provided in the books of accounts. So next one is the legal approval. So in case of double entry system, all the rules are followed, various books of accounts are prepared. So this kind of system is reliable by the Companies Act and various other acts. Tax authorities can also rely on the books maintained under this system. Next, we have comparative study. Under this system, separate recording is made for each item of expenses and income. So under double entry system, expenses और income की हर entry की जाती है. तो इससे क्या होता है? At the end of the year, we know the financial position of the firm and we are able to know what are the expenses in a particular year and what are the incomes and how we can reduce the expenses in the next year so that we increase the profit. So comparison is possible in case of double entry system over the past few years. Next is helps management in decision making. So this kind of system is very helpful by the management in making any decision in a firm. So clear? So these are the advantages of double entry system. There are certain disadvantages of double entry system, that is the number of books are very much, so बहुत ज़्यादा maintenance है and it is very expensive. For a normal layman, it is very difficult to apply the rules of debit and credit. So proper education and practices is required to know the rules of double entry system. And under the double entry system, we check the arithmetical accuracy by saying when debit is equal to credit, but that is not the case. There can be certain more errors or omissions in case of double entry system. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of double entry system. We are done with this chapter. Tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting a new chapter. So that's all for today. Thank you.